welcome to my channel. My name is Shawnee and we are Glitzy Stitches Home DIY. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I hope you're having a fabulous evening, everyone. We're really excited today to be participating in the Inspired by DIY Challenge. It is hosted by Elena Jenkins DIY and co-hosted by Antoinette from Simple Yet Chic. I am so excited about this challenge. I've been thinking about it for a while. I know exactly what I want to do. Today, our inspiration is a tray from Magnolia. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm going to show you exactly what we have to do for that. And I just wanted to remind you that I will be leaving both Elena and Antoinette's links in my description box, as well as a link to the playlist. So excited. Are we ready to go? Let's do this. All right. First of all, what I have done here is I have taken my super glue wood glue, purchased from the Dollar Tree, of course, and I have glued together 11 of the regular paint sticks, the regular sized paint sticks, and I did cut the ends off. The handle part is cut off. Okay. And also I have taken 16 of the building blocks and I put them in groups of 4 and glued them together. Okay. Also we have the larger paint sticks. The 2 are longer here and here, just like so. Okay, just like that. All right, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to glue this together. But first, I want to paint the bottom. What we're going to do is I purchased these sticks from the liquidation center. There's like 200 of them in here, and it's always $5 a bag there. So I put these in a bag, and they were in a box, the original box, and I kept it because it's vintage. So they're just little crafting sticks, and what I want to do with these is I want to put these, we're going to put the ruled numbers, we're going to make sure that's on the back. So we want to put our craft sticks like so. We want to make sure that every single ruled number has a craft stick. So for that sturdiness. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay them like so. We want that sturdiness on here, guys. And then we're going to create an illusion, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay. I'm going to take and I'm going to put our super glue wood glue on our sticks, and I'm going to dot it with a couple dots of the hot glue as well. Okay, so what you want to do first, you want to make sure, and you don't want to mix those because something happens when you mix those and it's not a real good reaction because it won't stick. So I'm just going to put a couple dots of the wood glue on here. And this super glue, if you've used it before, you probably already know this. The super wood glue from the Dollar Tree, it adheres really fast. I was very surprised by that the first time I used it. So it does adhere fast. So, okay, just like this. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get all our sticks glued down. Okay, friends, and we are back. And I wanted to point out that if you see that I've added 2 more of the small paint sticks, it's because, okay, I'm honest, and I'm just going to tell you straight up what I did. So when I was showing you guys and I went like this to measure the sides, I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. It wasn't measuring up like it was all day long. I had sat these last pieces over by my Cricut and I was like, oh no, where'd they go? So in fact, I thought I was going to have to add 2 more and that I had miscalculated, but I had remembered that before they were just fine. So I knew I had to have sat them somewhere. And sure enough, I did. So I just added those and we're good to go. I was like, oh, it's a wonder I didn't even gasp, but I didn't. So we're good. But anyway, so we have our bottom and our popsicle sticks down. And so you will need 13 of these, guys. So if I said 11 previously, I apologize. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my goodness. And I kind of laughed a little bit because I had set them actually all over there because I had to use my desk for something different earlier. And I had forgotten the 2 on the end. But these are all secure. We have them all secure here, and that's what you want. And generally, you would not probably stain this. It wouldn't make a big difference. But with this tray, I want it to be as high end as I know it looks. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and I am going to stain this tray. And I am just finishing up our messy stain job here, but that's okay. This is exactly the color I was going for, and I'm excited and hoping that it looks exactly the same on the other side. I'm going to blow this with my blow dryer and dry it off. There's no need for a second coat on this side. And then we're going to go to the other side and attempt to create an illusion, maybe. I'm not sure. I have to see how that's going to work. It might work out just fine, but the grain of this wood on the back is really showing up, guys. So I'm really wondering how it's going to look on the other side if I try to create an illusion of the grain going the other way. It just might work. So we might try that. All right. So let's blow this off and be right back. Okay, we're back. Now, I went ahead and I stained our legs for our tray. You know what the coolest thing about these building blocks are and perfect for this project? Have you guys ever noticed that on some of them there's a stamp of numbers, and I can't really read what that says, but this is so cool. How vintage and old wood looking is that? So this is going to go on the outside of our project. I'm pretty excited about that, guys. Okay, so now we're going to create the illusion of one continuing piece of wood. I pray this works. Okay, now on my tray, the Magnolia tray has 2 larger pieces of wood and 1 smaller piece. Now I'm going to do this with very lightly with my Sharpie. Okay, just lightly, like so. Okay, now, thing is, what we want, guys, is you're going to need to use an older ruler. Just use one of the Dollar Tree rulers or something. Don't use a good one because this will get on your ruler. Even though it's plastic, you don't want to stain it. You just don't. Okay, so, and then it's kind of down like this. And, okay. All right, let's go. And I'm going to do that one kind of, yeah, more solid. Keep it a solid line. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, let's hope this works. And I was going to put like some chucks in it, you know, the little chuck marks or whatever, but literally our tray does not have those marks. So I'm going to go ahead and just try this as is, guys, and I don't want the stain super duper dark on this. So let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to get some paper toweling because this does tend to get all over. Now this, I've used other things to stain before paint and such. Now I'm using the Waverly wax. This is actually the first bottle that I've ever purchased, and I've used it quite a lot. So, all right, let's see what this is going to do. Hopefully we'll be okay with this. So away from my trees. All right, I'm actually going to paint it this way because it's going with the grain of the other wood. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to come right back in and wipe this off. I don't want it too dark. I'm going to dabble a lot on these lines. A lot of stain. So they're just very faint on there. Okay. I'm going to let that sit a minute, guys. And I'm going to wipe it off and I'm going to dry it. And then we'll be right back. And we're going to start assembling our tray. All right. Okay, everyone. So I did our bottom to our tray. Now, this is how it turned out, and I think that looks pretty good. I really like that. I'm still not real sure about the black lines I put through it, but I think once we get it assembled, it might be okay. And in our inspiration photo, there's a hunk out of one side of the front of our tray. So I'm excited about that. And what I did to create this, I took my wire cutters. Well, first I took my X-Acto knife and I just kind of lined it up, you know, like lined it at a slant. And then I took my wire cutters and I kind of went boom, like that. And it kind of worked. Then I sanded it off with my sand block and yeah, it kind of worked. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to set this aside. And this really soaks in the wood too. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to paint our sides now. And that is the only one, and I'm not sure why, guys, but that is the only one that I can see at all that has any kind of chip, any kind of rounding, anything like that. Yeah, that's the only corner that is like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stain our sides and I'm going to show you how they have this put together. It's a little bit different. All right, so let me go ahead and stain these sides. Okay, and I wanted to show you guys. I stained this with the dark wax. Now I want to show you something. You see where the little lines are, the dark lines? Can you see those? Those dark lines in there? That's exactly how they have them in the wood grain of the original piece. There's these dark lines, like scratches. So I'm going to make sure that they're real dark and real faint, but they're there, and it ages it. It makes it look older. And that's exactly how they did it. I don't know, you know, they took a paintbrush or what they took, but that's what they did. So, and they're quite prominent. And they're like that on the legs as well. But we're going to leave the legs alone, I think. But this main piece is really significant because it has that hunk out of the corner and those lines. Those definite, like, scratchy, looks like someone took a marker, like I just did, lines. So I'm just going to literally, let me see this, just like, oh man, I don't want this off too much because I just want those black lines really, really faint. Okay, and we are ready to put the sides on our tray. Now, I actually went ahead and colored everything first, and I generally do not do this, so I'm hoping that all of our glues will stick good. And I just wanted to say my other little inspiration is sitting on my lap, and that is my 3-pound little 9-month-old Chihuahua Tipper. and she's a good girl. She likes to come in here when I'm doing crafts and sit on my lap and sit with me. And I generally don't like to let her do that when I have a glue gun. I'm going to have to be very careful with that. But she is not feeling well today, so I'm going to go ahead and let her sit on my lap today. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pull this picture up here so that I can see it just up. Everything is pretty much flush, just like that. The outsides are, okay, there we go. We're going to do this. Okay, that's good. That's perfect. Okay, the outsides are like so. Okay, so we're going to do just like this because it's pretty flush. All right, so we're going to glue our bottoms. And it's still kind of tacky, but for time purposes, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And make sure you have your hot glue gun ready to go, nice and loaded, and your wood crafter's glue, your super glue. Make sure you have that all ready to go as well. And again, you're going to want to always put that on first, and then you're going to run your hot glue. Now, here's the scoop. The super wood glue is for the permanent bond, and the hot glue will be your I'm holding right now. So we're going to do this, and I'm thinking this might be a little bit hard with my pretty puppy on my lap here, but all right, because I'm trying not to get the glue gun near her at all. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of come up like this. This is how I do this, guys. I'm going to kind of come up like this and like this, and it kind of avoids spillage, and I really, really like that. We're going to go just like this, and then I'm going to run my bead of wood glue and hot glue right there. Like I said, I take my little poker tool that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go right along with this line, just like so, to smooth it out and make it look good. Okay, that's exactly how we're going to do that. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get our sides on, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, and we have the front of our tray all ready to go. And here's that notch I was telling you guys about, right there. And it just has a natural, and you'll see in the original how it has a natural hunk out of it type deal. So, okay, let's go ahead and get our legs on our tray now. I'm really excited about this, and I'm going to put these on, and we'll be right back. And I am going to, where this has the lettering, I am going to put that on a front piece because I think that is so cool. All right, guys, be right back. Okay, friends, and there it is. Ta-da! I figured I'd give it a little bit of Christmas inspiration, and there is our tray, inspired by Magnolia. And I'm going to tell you that I'll put the comparison picture of this scene also on my thumbnail. And I'm just so excited about this. This turned out really, really good. There's our little notch. I'm so proud of a little notch. I wouldn't want one in my real furniture, but you know. So anyway, I'd like to thank once again Elena Jenkins DIY for hosting this challenge, and Antoinette at Simple Yet Chic and for co-hosting. And also go check out their channels. They are so awesome. Check out their channels. I'll have the links in my description box below. And I'll have the link to the playlist and check out the playlist. There is nothing more fun than going through these playlists and seeing all these creative people. It is awesome. Okay, everyone, and I want you to have a blessed evening and thank you for joining me so much. Bye.